Coming from Michigan, I must say I miss it every now and then because there's no place like home. Just being over there from I call Flint, Detroit because I've been in both cities. I go back and forth all the time. When I was there, I went to college in Detroit, born and raised in Flint. So I know about being around the black community, being in the culture, and that's something I must say that I miss coming out here to Arizona, being around my people. Didn't have to search for culture because I was in the culture. I was the culture. I was part of the culture. Looking at the graffiti and seeing somebody empowering, just to remind you, like, hey, wherever you at, where your circumstances was, like you're bigger than where you at. And so seeing all those murals and stuff like that, that actually mean a lot. Going to the store, seeing people that look just like me. You know what I'm saying? Just I didn't have to go searching and finding for that. The even small stuff that you don't take for that you take for granted, like going to church. Like you expect to go to church and see people that look like you, but out here, I mean, that opened my eyes and changed it a little bit. So being out here has been a eye opening experience. I want to share with you guys that since I've been out here for 2 years exactly, the reason why I moved out here and so forth, and some of the experiences I had along the way. So that's something I must say that I feel like I take it for granted when I was in Michigan, like being around people that look like me the entire time, or being around people that didn't look like me too. Because that's one thing I can say about being in Michigan, Detroit specifically. Like it's very multicultural, but it is a heavily populated with black folks. But then you got your Middle Eastern folks, you got your Mexican folks, you got everybody there. So Michigan is like a nice little melting pot of people, which all different cultures and backgrounds like merge along. But coming out here to Arizona, it's a little bit different. It's different. Like changing clothes and everything. Like I had to leave like all my winter clothes, all my North Face jackets, all my Canadian Goose, and all that stuff. Like I had to leave that because there's no point here. Like I can leave like two or three jackets, but that's pretty much it unless you're going up in the mountains during the wintertime and it's snowing like that. That's really the only time you would use stuff like that if you're staying for a time. But that's one pro I could say about the state. Like dealing with snow is optional. It's very optional. I can go up to the mountain one day, and the same afternoon I'm in a swimming pool chilling. So I do like that. But with Arizona, the heat was something to get accustomed to, especially coming from a place come from a place that had humidity in the air and stuff like that. You're dealing with insects all the time. You hot and sweaty, but humidity was like really the major thing to say. Like, damn, man, this was hot. Arizona is hot, but it's a different type of hot. It's like a dry heat. So the best thing I could say it's like turn your stove on to like 115 degrees, and that's what Arizona feel like in the summertime. And if you want to feel like what it feels like driving in it, like imagine like you driving with the windows down and the blow dryer blowing in your face. That's the best representation I can give you guys, like on what it's like being out here. But one thing I must say is that coming out here is a different shift. It's a different feeling. It's a different vibe. But it's not nothing I can say bad, but every place you go, you got your own different vibe and stuff that's going on there. Every state maneuvers different, and that's what I learned about being here in Arizona. Like it's weird, like seeing like going from a city vibe to out here. If you don't know, like they have like a light pollution type of law that's in place. Like they got a lot of crazy laws in place that I never heard of before, but I get it because it makes sense out here. Like for example, being in the city, you used to like tall skyscrapers and stuff like that. In Arizona, they build everything out. They have the space, and that's the crazy part. They have so much space where they can build up and build like tall buildings, but they rather build out, which is something new to me. Everything is spread out, literally. Everything is spread out. Everything is like a 20 or 30-minute drive. There's no water out here. Like there is like a few lakes. There's a few lakes that people go to, but overall, like there's nothing that you would see like how I'm used to like the Riverwalk in Detroit. Like I used to go see that all the time. I used to go see the other lakes, the Detroit River, Lake here, Port Huron, and Lake Michigan and stuff like that, or go to Mackinac Island to see that. That leisure is gone. I would have to the closest lake, like I said, is probably about 2 hours away from me. If I really want to get a nice little view, I would have to go to Cali, like San Diego or something like that. Um, Another thing I will say that's different out here is that there's not too much culture out here. That's something I noticed about being black out here. There's not too much culture. The population is completely different. It's something I realized that I took for granted back in Michigan, looking for people that look like me and everything. Not saying that it's an end all be all, because that's one thing I was saying. Like, it's a gift and it's a curse, but it's also like nice that Michigan have that multicultural, because out here it helped me maneuver a lot better. Especially in the workforce and corporate America and stuff like that, because that's where I find a lot of black people, to be honest, out here, is at my workplace. Some of them is cool, some of them is okay. Some of our African, I think they're better than others. Some people just is snobby, but I mean, you're not gonna get along with everybody, but you can find your people if you want to vibe out. The At night, that's what I was meant to say before I went off track a little bit. It's like they build everything out here, but they have a polite light pollution law. So at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock here, like the lights must be low, off, amber type of vibe. I would say like a dark amber light. Very rarely like any LEDs, because I must say this is where Arizona shines over the city a little bit. The city got those tall skyscrapers. Out here in Arizona, you can see the stars like crazy. Like, they feel like they're so close. You can see like the Milky Way, the Big Dipper, all that stuff you used to dream like as a kid. Like, when it's like at night here, pitch black. It's like pitch black here. Like the whole city looked like a damn auditorium, man. That's what's one of the things I can say. That's that's out here. That's interesting. Again, there's no street lights, which is crazy. There's no street lights out here. Your car lights, that's pretty much what you have. Uh, Now, with that being said, we're gonna go into some more things about that affects black people more like me than anything. I would say just more of that cultural shift, and finding like a few things I find important that affect me, which I'm still maneuvering till this day, and that is like places where I can get my hair cut. Before I cut my hair here, because I cut my hair myself. Before I came here, I had long braids down to my shoulders, and then I let my wife try to cut it, man, and yeah, that didn't go out well. But it is what it is. We starting over, and yeah. But coming out here though, find like a hairstylist, something like that. If you got long hair, this for my ladies and fellas. Like, that was a challenge. Like, I would have to go to a big city or a place like that and do mad research, or find on Instagram or stuff like that to find like a decent hair braid or something like that. Luckily for me, like, my wife know how to braid hair, so didn't have to worry about as much. But for her, I can't braid her hair. She got to find a braider, or find someone to do like a press, or whatever she called, a silk press, something like that, to make sure that she can look good or whatever. Like, she can get her hair done. I mean, she can't get her manicures or pedicures and all that stuff. But as far as getting her hair done, that has been a challenge for people of color like me, because a lot of people out here have straight hair. Hispanic people, women have straight hair. They don't have hair like us black folks that's curly. You may find people that can braid hair, but it's like far few in between. Um, so that's interesting. Even Africans that I have met out here that you would think that would know how to do hair, believe it or not, the black people don't know how to do their own hair. Like, women involved too. So that's the thing. The second thing is, far as food, you will not find any soul food restaurants out here. Like, you will find some, but they very far few in between, and you would know where the good ones are at. But there are different cultures. You'll get the best, I would say, out here though in Arizona. You get the best Mexican food. So all that food that you used to having, where you have it on the East Coast, where, oh, let me get just 12 tacos with cheese that is just with a hard shell, soft, medium shell. Out here, they do it completely different. You got the carne asada, the pork belly, like everything. The fajitas is different. You get just everything, the arroz with and everything, man. The rice, like, just, you're gonna get done right. You're gonna have enough food. Your belly gonna be full. Like, I'm surprised they have a Taco Bell out here. Taco Bell shouldn't be thriving, but there's people that still like Taco Bell. So yeah, so that's out here. Um, I must say, just to clarify too, like, I am in Tucson, Arizona, but I go to Phoenix frequently. So Tucson has a different vibe than Phoenix. Phoenix is a lot bigger. It's like a city, but it's, of course, it got like 4 million people. It's one of the largest cities in the country. But where I'm at, I'm in Tucson, a little bit smaller, a little bit more slowed down. This is something I prefer because I got my wife and I got two boys, so it's something I had to consider. but also my job is here. So that's one of the main reasons I should say like what helped me relocate out to Arizona. Arizona wasn't like the state I chose when I looked on the map. Like, hey, you know what we're gonna hear? It was just like based on my job that I had in Michigan. I had to take a severance package, and I took the severance package, and then I so happened to put my resume out there, and a big corporation out here picked me up. So that's where I'm at. With that being said, like since we're talking about me moving out here, how I came out here, the job sector out here is booming. Like if you see somebody that's out here like homeless, like that's more on them. They do not like want to work, they want to get a job, or they just don't have the criteria. Because Arizona is one of those states where the education system is not the greatest, like just being honest. But if you come from another state, like how I did and a few other people that I have met, and you come over here, like you're gonna thrive. You're gonna thrive well. Like there's jobs out here like high 5 figure, 6 figure salary jobs, man. And that's one thing I can say about Arizona. As we moving on from that, because the job sector is great, you can make money out here. The insurance, I would say, as far as cars, is a lot cheaper out here. Registration ain't gonna tax you because that's completely different depending on where you come from. Like they do it based on the market value of your car, which I wasn't used to. But I mean, my cars was expensive because they was new, so they taxed me like $1,000 for registration and tags. Tags is like the little square sticker that had a year that you renew every year. So yeah, they got me good on that. But another thing I can say is that yes, the job sector is good. I find myself like since there's not too many of us, like the state is, if you look it up, it's like what 70% white, or 50% white, I should say, or 60% white. Uh, the other remaining is what 30, 35. I would say like 35% Hispanic, Mexican, and the other 5% is black folks. So we are out here, but it's just very small, few of us. When we're I must say, like when I'm out here, I feel like everyone has their own perception of a black person. I haven't run across anything like any racial issues or stuff like that because again, Arizona is a huge melting pot. People that you see here, a lot of people that I have met is not really from Arizona, not from Tucson, not from Phoenix. A lot of people travel from the East Coast. A lot of people came from the West Coast, further north, like Washington area, Seattle area like that, and then Oregon area, and then a lot of people just come from all over from the East Coast. So a lot of people have different mindsets, different vibes, different expectations, and look at people different. So when you looking at that, like everybody has a different thought. Everybody have different political views. Everybody, you just can't just assume everybody is a race because some people don't know. There was actually a person that never even been around a black person before, but they only know based on like based on what they see on online on TV, which is messed up, but it is what it is. Especially if I tell them I'm from Detroit, they like, oh my gosh, you from Detroit? Like, is it bad out there? And then they just go to, oh yeah, have you seen Eminem or 8 Mile? Like, I seen the movie. Like, it's so funny, just seeing that. So it is what it is. But I must say, like overall, like being out here, it's not a bad state. I don't get a bad vibe since I moved out here. If I did, I want to have my family out here. So since I've been out here, I did build me a home. The home that I'm currently sitting in, I built it from the ground up, so I can elaborate on that to you, like why I decided to build my home, where I did it at. I did on my last channel, Blueprint One That Lead. That's my car niche channel, but on this channel, I'm being more open for you guys. That's why I created this secondary channel there. So yeah, built a home here. Uh, People are more hospitable. In this neighborhood, I didn't have too many neighbors, so it was only about a few of us. But I do know all of them so far. But my last neighborhood where I rented from, I was new. Obviously, they knew I was new. People came up knocking on the door. Great hospitality. I mean, when I say that, like I had to grab my gun because I wasn't used to people like coming, knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, like, "Hey, welcome," bringing me cookies and stuff like that. I was like, "What? They doing it out here?" But the hospitality is nice. Some of it is good, some of it's bad, but yeah, like where I'm at now, like everything is chilled, everybody chilled. I do have a Karen next door, like she tried to pick on me based on HOA stuff, but I already got cool with the HOA president and all that stuff, so she can keep those racial views to herself. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna have to deal with it. And the messed up part about it is like she's in the military, so Yeah, but it is what it is. I make sure to start my car up early in the morning because it's loud, chopping with a cam and all that stuff. But she can't say nothing because I do what I'm supposed to do. And I'm gonna keep doing what I'm supposed to do. But I should say, moving out here overall has been a phenomenal experience. I would say I wouldn't change my journey or anything like that. It actually had me step outside of my comfort zone and have it helped me interact with new people. It keeps me to be open minded and just it's a different type of beauty out here, I should say. Like a lot of people say, man, you go to the desert, but when you come out here, it seems like it's fake. Like the when you look at the skies, the clear blue skies and stuff in the daytime, it looks fake. When you look at the mountains, it looks fake. Especially you have an opportunity to go drive up there and check out the mountains too, like that. At night, like I said, it's like an auditorium. It's like amazing. It feels like it's dark as hell sometimes. I had to get used to that because I'm used to street lights, but I'm coming from the city. But yeah, it is what it is. Speaking of that being streets, like where I'm at, the infrastructure is horrible. I would say to maneuver around because we only got the 10. That's just east and west just to go up to Phoenix and back. When you go to Phoenix, like a larger city, they got bigger. They have bigger, interstates, freeways, and stuff like that to maneuver over there. Still a little bit better, but everything is still based on like a grid system out here. But other than that. It's cool. It's chill. I know I see a lot of stuff on TikTok like, yo, where the black people at? It all depends on what is you looking for out here. Like black people are out here. Are you looking for like the club scene? I'm not really into the club scene anymore. I did all that in Detroit. But like if you're looking for like the club scene or if you it depends on what you're looking for. You trying to just like go out, there's plenty of stuff to do. I mean, there's way more stuff to do, way a lot of places to go to spend your money on versus just hitting the club and just being out. And that's one thing I can say. This is like an outdoor city. Like they got jobs, they got stuff for you to do, they got a place where you can blow the bag and stuff like that. But I'm gonna save that for another video. This is just something that I experienced being black in Arizona, and just a quick video. So if there's something I didn't touch on that you want me to touch on, y'all be sure to drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Overall, that's pretty much it. I feel like I covered everything, but I know I missed some stuff because I don't want to keep rambling on. But that's like the quick synopsis of what I feel like being black in Arizona, the cultural shift that I have experienced coming from a predominantly black state like Michigan and then moving to Arizona, which is different, where I get to experience like the Hispanic culture, the white culture, how it blends in these towns.